You're right, guys, I'm Matthew, and welcome to the first episode of my first main series on Football Manager 2020 with Huddersfield Town, my local club, transforming the Terriers. So in this series we are going to attempt to win all of the top competitions possible. And here we see our opening screen, our breaking news story that we have been hired. So, yeah, in this series we've got to win the Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Community Shield, Champions League, UEFA Super Cup and Club World Cup with Huddersfield Town. And after I've completed that, the series can finish. And here is what the club starts off with. John Smith Stadium, 24,000 seater stadium. Not the best training facilities, but okay. We're predicted to come 7th this season, and obviously we've got a reasonable club history with the three first divisions back in the 1920s. And this is what the game predicts is our best team. There's some good players in this squad. I'm looking forward to this first season to see what I can do with them. And this is our club vision. So the club culture hasn't got anything really specific, it's just to make overall progress. But we've got the 5-year plan, as every team does, wants us to work in the wage budget and give our first team players a minimum of 2-year contracts. And for this season they want us to reach the playoffs, which could be a bit of a struggle as we are predicted 7th, the 4th round of the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup 3rd round. So it should be an interesting season to see if we can do all those things. And then next year, they want us to be promotion candidates for the Premier League. So here we are, starting the save off now. We have been officially signed as Huddersfield Town manager. And here I just go and accept the club vision because I believe it's an acceptable club vision. It's not too ambitious. And this is going to be our pre-season. Tottenham, Guiseley, Brighouse, Bologna and AFC Emley as we play every season. And this is our first team squad. You see, so our first team squad here is it's a decent squad, you know. I'll highlight a few players here. First of all, Christopher Schindler, who is our captain, German centre-back, extremely good player, too good for the Championship in my opinion. And we've also got Terence Congolo, who I think will start the season playing at left-back because our other left-back isn't the best. I also look at Aaron Moy here, who's out on loan at Brighton. He would be our best midfielder if we were here, but I might have to recall him at some point. But another great midfielder, Juninho Bacuna there. And I'd then look at Luke Daly, who is the highest potential player at the club, the young left-back, and already a first-team player, Lewis O'Brien, also has extremely good potential ability. And now you can see me creating our initial tactic here. I went with a 4-2-3-1. Mainly supportive roles. I've got a proper defensive midfielder in there, which will mainly be the position of Jonathan Hogg. And yeah, one out-and-out attacking player being the striker in the advanced forward role. And I've also gone through all of the team instructions and each initial player instructions. And also in a moment you will see me going through all of the set piece takers here. And Alex Pritchard seems a very, very good set piece taker, to be fair. He is the best both free kick and corner taker, and I choose the penalty takers, and I'm going to keep the captains as the same. So here is the dynamics page. Our leaders in the hierarchy at the current moment is Hogg, Schindler and Fraser Campbell, who is Huddersfield born and raised. And here we've got our team report. I had a quick look through the team report to see which positions would probably be the best to bring in new players for. We don't have the largest transfer budget at all, It's only just over 6 million, I believe, is our transfer budget. But I will be attempting to make some moves in the transfer market. And this is our only player with an injury now, D'Amico Duane, and we are in only these 3 competitions in this season, so it should be interesting. We've already drawn Salford for the Carabao Cup round 1, and here is the development centre now. There's a few players in the ones to watch, but no one that really needs attention or first team candidates at the moment. As I said before, we are predicted to come 7th, and surprisingly, we have a player in the Media Dream 11 in Terence Congolo. And now we move on to the code of conduct. I just went with the standard Ask Assistant Manager option and confirmed that one. And then my next thing to do was move Joel Coleman up to the senior squad as he's too old for the under-23s. I then went through the initial team meeting. Some of the players, specifically Jonathan Hogg, thought that we weren't being ambitious enough. And then we have a couple more pre-season games that have come through here. And now it was time for me to meet the media. Generally, I just use the assertive option on this because it seems easier to do that. And we go into the first match of the season against the under-23s. The first pre-season match, the first match of this save. I thought I'd do this one as a highlighted match of this episode. Next episode there probably won't be a highlighted match, as it will be going through the transfer window and the rest of pre-season. And then in the episode after that, we will start the league season here. I decided to delegate opposition instructions because just to make it a little bit easier on myself, so I didn't have as much to do. And I will give a team talk here, telling them to go and show me why they should be in the team. This realistically is our initial starting 11. It is pretty much the best side I could put out at this stage. I always like to put my best team out that I possibly can in the match against the youth teams, which you get at the start of a new save. Just helps you get to know the players a little bit more. So here we see the players walking out, and I start the match here with Carlan Grant starting off the match, but I am just changing a few settings, putting on key highlights so this bit doesn't take too long. The match in the Chelsea save where I've recorded seems a bit too much to commentate over really, so I've set it onto key highlights for this, and I will obviously turn the replay camera to behind goal, as it's nice to get an alternative view of how the goal was formed. So here I should start playing once again. And Pritchard out to Diakabe on the left hand side here. Into Bakuna in the middle, back to Congolo now it is on the left hand side. But he was offside. And as we're going through this match, I mean, hopefully that I'm hopeful that the season on the game will go a bit better than Huddersfield's season in real life, as for a good while we were in the relegation zone. But now we've got Pritchard with a corner here, and the under-23s managed to get it away, out for a throw-in. And Josh Karoma gets a yellow card there. So yeah, I'm hopeful that this season will go a bit better than in real life. Hoping to be challenging to get into the playoffs. Not necessarily get through, because I don't quite think we're at a Premier League standard level yet. But I think if we get a bit of transfer budget, that should be fine. We can bring in the players we need, and we can also develop a couple of the younger players like O'Brien through to be fully fledged Premier League first team players. In this match, there's one notable missing player, which is Kamil Grabara, the Polish goalkeeper on loan from Liverpool. We had Ryan Schofield in net for this one, as Grabara was still out on holiday. So, with about 35 minutes in, we've only had 2 highlights so far, and it was a bit of a weak first half an hour. But they get a red card here after Josh Caroma makes a poor tackle on one of the first team players, but Pritchard can swing in the free kick, and Bakuna is at the back post to head it in past the under-23s goalkeeper, and he was easily onside for that one. Now, Stankovic at centre-back hits it forward, but the youngsters pick it up, but now Hogg brings it back out wide to Huddersfield, into Pritchard, across, and Diakabe. Pritchard getting a second assist in this match. It's been a great performance for him so far, and hopefully he can become a very influential player in the team this season. Most likely he'll play most of the season in that attacking midfield position, which he's best at. He's by far our best player there as well. But now we've got another corner with Pritchard whipping it in. Bakuna will run it down. Stankovic, now Hogg. Back to Schindler. Forward again to Pritchard. Pritchard in the box now. But the under-23s managed to get it away and out for a throw-in. And now we're coming towards half-time. And it's been a completely dominating performance so far from the first team, as you'd expect it to be. Pritchard by far being the standout player so far, but a lot of the players playing reasonably well. But yeah, hopefully we can breed a winning mentality within the club, because we have just been relegated from the Premier League last season. So realistically, we should be wanting to get straight back up there. But I think it is probably more of a realistic option to say, well, we'll try and get back into the Prem next season, as I don't quite think we have a strong enough squad anymore after we've sold a few players. And here we've brought on Joel Coleman for Ryan Schofield in net. In pre-season, I like to switch goalkeepers at half-time. It's just a thing I like to do. No real reason for it. But now Congolo hitting it over the top to Grant, and Grant scores, but unfortunately offside, cannot get his first goal of pre-season for us. But Karlan Grant is a very promising talent. Very much believe he'll be a decent Premier League striker in the future. Could get into the England squad. You never know. But at this moment in time, with us in the Championship, and even when we're in the relegation zone, I believe he was one of the top scorers in the Championship. Now, Huddersfield into the midfield with Hogg. Back to Huddersfield, who hits it into the box, but the under-23's goalkeeper will collect it now. We've got Harrott running up the pitch from the under-23s, but it's a poor shot from him. And now I'll pause the game here, and I think I'm going to make another tactical decision. So, next player to come off is going to be our right winger at this moment, Lais Kachunga, and Colin Quanner, the German striker, is going to come on the right hand side. And I just wanted to see if I could move around a few players here, because I'm not 100% sure where players can play and not play at this moment. Especially with Colin Quanner, he's usually a target man up front. But I knew he could play off of the wings. I didn't really know which wing he were better on, so I thought I'd test it out, as Diakabe's primarily a right winger. But now, Chapman in goal for the under-23s, but we will pick it back up with Congolo in our high defensive line at this moment. Stankovic off to the other side of the pitch with Huddersfield. Quanner running into the box here and having a shot, but goes out. But oh no, it doesn't go out. Oh, I miswatched that. But now the under-23s making a couple of substitutions, and it's just over 60 minutes now, and we will make a couple tactical changes here, I believe. So, next player to go off. Gonna bring off Chris Schindler. He's not had the best game at centre back, but then again he's also not really had to do anything. We're gonna bring on loanee Trevor Trelobah, who's in from Chelsea. In real life, he's been starting often. He's usually been starting in the midfield as a more of a defensive midfielder, but he's primarily a centre back on this game. And I thought I'd test him out here. He doesn't really seem of the quality that he'll get too much game time this season, especially when we've got Schindler, we've got Stankovic, we've got Tommy Elphick, who can play in centre back also. So it seems unlikely that he's going to get many games. But now Pritchard, Diakabi, Congolo in the box here, shot over the top. Oh, I did not actually see what happened there. It's a bit difficult to see what's happening because I'm not really looking at a terribly large screen, and I thought that had gone out, but apparently it fell for Hadajoni, who slipped it into Pritchard, who scored to make it 3-0. Pritchard having a great first game for us. You know, two assists and a goal so far. We're now going to bring on Fraser Campbell up front, who is, as I said earlier, he's a native of Huddersfield. One of a couple of footballers in recent times. We don't really get many footballers coming from around here, but he's probably been the most successful in recent times. We also brought on Lewis O'Brien there in midfield. I believe that was for Hogg, yep. And because it's a pre-season game, we can have as many substitutions as we want. We have 12 players on the bench in each match. I apologise for that, if possible. And we make more changes here. Tommy Elphick coming on for Stankovic. Stankovic is most likely to get a decent amount of playing time. He's got decent potential, if I remember correctly. Elphick's more of a backup player, despite playing in real life. But yeah, I'm interested to see how far we can take Stankovic with us, because I think he's got a decent potential ability, but not necessarily the best potential ability. And now we're going to bring on Jayden Brown. And Jayden Brown, I believe he's been in our starting 11 this season after Chris Löwe left to Dynamo Dresden, I think, in summer. He's been a long-term left back for us at the club, but now we've got Jayden Brown in. But on this game, he's only 2.5 star ability, so it's unlikely that he's going to be my first team left back. In fact, left back is one of the positions I've highlighted for where we need to improve at. I think we need another goalkeeper, because I don't think Schofield and Coleman are quite good enough as backup goalkeepers yet. And Grabara's only a 3-star, so it's possible that we'll bring in either an older backup goalkeeper or potentially a loanee better goalkeeper than Grabara. I'm looking for a first team left back because I'd like Congolo to play in his preferred position in the centre back. So I'm looking for a left back, and I'm also looking for a left winger, because we have reasonable cover in the attacking midfield and wings, but it's basically the cover for the wingers is the attacking midfield. The cover for the attacking midfield is the wingers. So I think we need to have a bit more depth in them positions of the squad. So I'm looking to bring players in them positions. But it's all over now. We win 3-0. It was a decent performance. Juninho Bakuna was the last man to be staying on. The only man to survive the entire match, as we could only have 10 substitutes in this, because obviously we were playing against the under-23s, we couldn't use the under-23 players. But he also didn't seem too happy with my team talk. But Pritchard had a good game for us there. 2 assists and a goal. Wasn't bad. He's a decent 3.5-star player. So for now, he should be our starting attacking midfielder for the first season at least. But now that will be the end of this video. In the next episode, I will go through the pre-season and transfer window. But I will appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers for watching. Goodbye.